Hearty welcome to Chat with Champ Show, the most liked program everyone is waiting for. Today, the champion is going to teach us or tell us about the choices in life, why choices in life are very important. So, here is a quote for the champion of the day. आज तेरे लिए वक्त का इशारा है, देखता ये जहां सारा है, फिर भी तुझे रास्तों की तलाश है, आज फिर तुझे मंजिलों ने पुकारा है, आज फिर तुझे मंजिलों ने पुकारा है. So here we go, welcoming our champion for the day, Sarah. Sarah is the
Hello,
champion.
sir.
Hearty welcome to you, Sarah.
Thank you,
You
sir.
we are going to learn how to choose things in life. I know happiness is a choice, and sharing happiness is a choice too. Whether you want to share happiness or you want to keep happiness with you is again a choice. So here is welcoming you with a chat with Champ clap.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, we know that people need to choose things in life, or wherever you are, in whichever part of life you are. Don't crib. You are there because you have chosen. You have chosen your career. You have chosen your job. You have chosen your education plan. You have chosen your life partner, or whatever. Wherever you want to stay, choice is very important in your life. So that also helps you in your social work. How did you choose social work? How did you come into all these things? And who were your inspiration? I know you're creating leaders nowadays, but let's learn about your journey, Sarah.
So something that really inspired me was my parents. So they were the ones who really, you can't say social work, but yeah, social service was always in our family. So it all started when I was like 4 years old. So we had this thing of, making food and, giving it to the people on the streets who cannot afford food. We used to go to the orphanages, play with the kids. So all that kind of started, this thing of social work and helping other people. So the main source is from there, and then later on, when I grew up, I came to a realization that there is a course called social work where you professionally learn about social work and how to carry things out with different methods and everything. So I was introduced to that by one of the professors who was there in one of my churches. So very glad to have him, and helping him, you know and he's helped me to get through this thing, and he's shown me this course, and this is how I started with social work.
Basic journey into social service, and then it taking a graduation in
Yes.
social work, bachelor's degree in social work. It's a big journey. So you have again chosen, being a child of 4 year. I came to know that you started your journey making food in the family, distributing. How did it all go? In fact, to feed people, and that took cooked food from your own home and at a rhythmic regularity on a daily basis. I'm sure this social service got embedded into your system as family has given you. So, what were your thoughts as a small child going to the streets, going to the centers every Sunday, preparing food, packing food? It's not easy task. It's not at all.
Yes, it is indeed not very easy to do that. But yes, we. I guess the first time you go and you give food to somebody, and they look at you with hope in their eyes, and that gratefulness, and they bless you. I guess that is the main driving force. Like even at the age of 4, when I came across this woman whom I was giving food to, she looked at me and she was like, "Come near me. I want to bless you." So that look in her eyes, and then she placing her hand over my head, it was very very touching. And I from there, I always loved going out on the street, meeting these people, giving them food, providing them with what they need. So this is how it all went.
The journey that started doing social work to centers. I'm sure you'd have got more in depth into the social work when you got into from practical to theory, again to practical. Of course, the Bachelor of Social Work from Stella Maris College, right? You did from there.
Yes,
and
sir.
the most premier college of the country, and you were there and got your degree there. So I'm sure the passion in you would have given you, but the graduation would have given you the process. How do you do in a processed way social work? I think the process would have gone very much into deeper the moment you got BSW from Stella Mary's.
Yes, sir. I mean, while I was studying social work, I thought social work is done in a certain way. But then when you study about social work, there are different ethics, there are different principles, there are different simple methods that you apply to, do the social work. So I was placed in an organization where we had to work in slums. So it was a very backward types community. So there was a tuition center. So what I learned in social work was to rapidly, like slowly, bring in change, slowly interact with the people. So over there, as I told, there was a tuition center. So we kind of interacted with the kids, and through the kids we got into the community and interacted with the people. So there was a lot of change when we left. There was a lot of change, like the children, they regularly used to come to these tuition centers, and they were eager to learn, because we tried bringing a lot of videos which would encourage them and help them to look at a future, make a choice over there, that do they want to live where they are, or do they want to go up front. So that's how applying a lot of theory that I learned over there helped us to bring out a community, bring out, encourage those children in that community.
Awesome, awesome. Practical knowledge is again very important. And when you went down to the slum area, which you said in different parts of Chennai, and then try to reach out to them, again you would have got more deeper into the need of the society, learnt social work in depth. Of course, theory is at one place, and to process the entire social work, the great learning that you had. I'm sure you're also a good counselor. You counsel students. You're also a leader creator. You came in contact with the student leadership program and creating leaders. How did this transformation happen? Of course, from one area of providing food and then now providing knowledge, we are merging both.
Yeah. So, as a child, there were a lot of things, that I personally went through. So, I didn't want that to happen to anybody, as they grow up. So, I always had this desire of, talking to the younger generation, talking to the people who are younger to me, helping them out. And when I was in college, I had this great opportunity to from IDF to conduct help in this program, student leadership program that was there, and my mentor was Imran sir. So he really well guided me, and took me through each thing, that the videos that were there, how to interact with the kids, what are the right words to speak, and if we failed, he was there to encourage us. So there, over there was a lot of unlearning and learning done. So that was the point, because of what I faced, I went into this source of
Great.
teaching the children that was there.
Teaching the children, yeah, giving them more life skills, what we call these days, where in the regular schooling, when the life skills, where schools more concentrate on academics, the life skills are missed out. I'm sure the student leadership program which IDF started, a lot of volunteers have become mentors, and Sarah, you were one among them and interacted with the students.
Happy
I
to
think
be one.
you went to Durga Devi school, right?
Matriculation, yeah.
Matriculation school in Kodambakam, Chennai.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So, any incident that you remember, the children, the transformation that you have done, meeting the children before and then after, what happened, what transpired during that period of time? How were the children when they came to you, and what happened when the training was important after that?
Yeah. So as usual, like when children come, they don't know us, so they're very reserved, very quiet. they don't open up. So we on our end, we made it our best to make the whole session, the whole journey with them, a very fun loving journey. So we used to have games, we used to have different songs that were there. So it was just a thing to, like, help the kids open up. And there were a lot of kids who held back, when we would ask them to explain something, or just share their story. They would held back. So then we had to, like, encourage them. And that encouraging part that was there brought them up in front. And this is one set of children that is there, who are quiet at first and then they open up. There were other set of children where they were super hyper, and then we had a different difficult time to get them into track and everything. So even that kind of went well as well. So we took turns, and we used to talk to different kids. If we feel that, okay, they're too hyper, and they're not letting other people give chances, so we would go talk to them. We would, they would share their experience with us, and then we would be like, okay, now you can go share your experience in the same way that you told us. So slowly bringing them along with the crowd. So there was a lot of bringing both type of people together in one place. So by the time we left, there were this class that was there, almost everybody had something or the other to come up in front boldly, to come up in front and talk about what they had to share.
Awesome, awesome. So what you have seen is a seed being planted, and then it is being nurtured, and you have seen the flower blooming. So you have seen the transformation. The happiness would have been certainly you and the other mentors who are part of the student leadership program. You all would have felt very happy. It's not
Very
easy. Yeah, it's not easy to volunteer and travel to places and on a regular interval and teach them life skills. And you have a heterogeneous group of students, different types, and then you have to reach out to them. You did an awesome job, Sarah. I think all that upbringing that you had from the family, the discipline from the family that you have learned, as you said, from the armed forces. Yes, these are all the things which help people, and you have touched upon many lives during social service. I know the college per se, you were part of a lot of team building program, and you are also known as the best team leader. You're also known as a good public speaker. Sarah as a person. In fact, whatever comes in the college, Sarah was the first person to speak. So how did it all came up? I know the exposure is very important. Exposure would have given you all this thing, would have removed that fear and given you courage in you to stand before anything. So how do students take up a message from Sarah?
um, I guess when you go up in front and talk or share anything, um, the most important thing is to uh, just forget about you know yourself. If you just forget about yourself and think about the crowd who's there in front of you, think about their well-being, think about what can they take from you, I guess it becomes very easy to come up in front and talk in front of a huge crowd that is there. So, I mean, these are the few qualities that are there. If just I For me, yes, going around in different places kind of helped me to interact with people very easily. Like, you can bring up any stranger in front of me and I can have a conversation with them. But then, as you said, the thing of how to do it, what makes me do it. So I kind of don't think about myself. I just know that the people in front of me need to know what I know, need to know what I have gone through, need to know that that knowledge that I have, the experience that I have. I need to share it. I need to give it to them because they don't know. So I need to, that one thing of everybody should know. Whatever I know, everybody should know. That knowledge sharing. Once that is set in your mind, I guess it becomes very easy to talk to anybody and everybody.
Everyone should get what I got, and everyone should know what I knew. I think these are some of the quotes which great leaders would have said earlier, and these are some of the messages which Sarah and champions like you normally speak. I know there's a champion coming up next who speaks this tone. So these are all some of the things as a giver. So you have been a big giver that give knowledge to others, share whatever you have. So these are good qualities where people get to learn. And what is happening is when you share knowledge to people, the more you give, the more you get. You prepare yourself. You
Yes.
become more knowledgeable during the process. Nothing is lost in the process. Everything is gained. So from here, from bachelor's degree, I know you are going to go for your master's. But during this pandemic time, it would have been a great for social workers per se. Of course, those who were into the field, they could do. So, what is that you did during this lockdown period, COVID-19 time? I'm sure there were a lot of restrictions that one could not do, but you would have traveled that extra mile. And what is that you have done during COVID-19 or this challenging times, Sarah?
Yes, definitely. It was a very challenging time since you couldn't go out and cannot interact with people. Social distancing had to be maintained. But then, what we came up with, we in the sense like my family and I, because they also have been involved in a lot of social work. So what we used to do is we used to make a meal, a meal per day. We used to make it for 100 people, and we would pack it up and we would go give it to them. So uh, that is what we used to do. That's how we started off. But then later on, it became even more difficult to go out on the roads, and because there were a lot of restrictions. And then police started, hovering around everywhere, telling people to go inside. So we couldn't do that. But then later on, we came up with this idea of giving the monthly provisions to people, especially those family where a person in their family has been affected, or they do not have jobs. Their jobs, like people who are there, like the vegetable vendors who are there, so their only source of income during the normal days was the vegetables that they sell. Now they cannot get out of their house, so they do not have provisions at their home. So then we started packing up provisions, and so now we give provisions every month to 10 families. So that's how we are continuing the whole thing.
Every individual I know would want to become a social worker. Of course, this COVID-19 has taught a lot of lessons to everyone. And as you were driven by a lot of your inner calls and your choices that you made that you need to help, and you have been demonstrating during these challenging times, and of course, excellent backing from the family that you have. So that goes very well. I know there are challenges which are there, but for social workers there are no challenges because they're waiting for any challenge to come. Any challenge they take challenge as an opportunity.
Yeah.
Every challenge is taken as an opportunity by every social worker, and you did what you were supposed to do, and you are doing continue to do very well, which you have been seeing in the family from your age 4, and now you have been doing as you're growing, and you're impacting many lives. Yes. So any incident in social work that you have come across has touched you and you still remember that, any such incident, Sarah?
So there was this particular incident where I was a student counselor at an orphanage. So that orphanage was basically for girls that is there. So over there, I would, like these life skill training programs that were there. So I do that with them. And over there was this one kid that had come, and she was kind of very disturbed, and she would cut herself. So that really at a small age, a child feeling that level of depression where self-harming is involved, that really, I mean, really shook me. And I really felt helpless at that point, even though there were I've spoken to a lot of people, given out counselings, taken different programs, but still, at that point of time I felt really helpless, and I really didn't know how to, reach out to her, how to touch her heart, how to, communicate with her. But then, all fears aside, because a social worker cannot have fears. So again, over there, it's either a choice. You be scared, sit there, or you face it and move forward. So you know, faced it and moved forward. And within few weeks, she started talking to me, and she started explaining how she's come from a difficult household, and how she's been affected by so many people around her. And I was glad that I could reach out to her and really help her, because she was, you can say, around seventh standard kid. So that's a very, very young age, for a person to be in such a state, that is there. So I feel blessed that I could be there at that point and help her. So yeah, that was one incident that really sticks on to me, and I really remember it.
Yeah, it will ever remain in your close to your heart, because
Yeah.
you had witnessed and you could transform and you can help out, you could reach out. Certainly, as Sarah, what is your journey ahead?
So right now I'm more focused into these training programs that are there. So my basic thing, what I want in future, what I want myself to do in future would be to reach out to all these young people and you know help them and guide them throughout the phase where they go through different feelings that are there, different kinds of emotions that they face, because when they are young they do not know that okay, this certain feeling is called depression, or this certain feeling is called anxiety. So I just want everybody, all the kids that are there, to understand themselves, understand their feelings. So that is what is my focus. And on a way, to build an NGO. So everything is on the way, still getting there. So yeah.
Perfect. I think every step you take, you see, you choose that you go to the right direction. I know, as you want to be the best counselor, you want to be the best trainer. The youth down the line are certainly waiting to receive all these things. In the students are there are many students who are on the crossroad, not knowing what to do. So I'm sure that people will look up to Sarah and yes, please give me a helping hand, and you are going to be there. You are going to travel a lot. You are going to meet a lot of people once the lockdown things are going to be settled. So these are going to be the learning point. And as social worker, for example, people don't be like social work don't need a license. They just need the drive, and with the
Yes.
drive in you, you are trying to reach out to many people and many places. Your inspiration, Sarah, has been, I know you said family, but one such inspiration, if I have to ask you, who has been your inspiration?
Um, I ins- uh, Basically it is my parents, because I haven't looked at anybody else. To be very honest, I haven't looked at any other great leader, for that matter, a great social worker, because everything that I wanted, everything that I admire in social work is right in front of my eyes. So even the way my parents, they take different session for children, the way they interact with them, I feel that what I am doing is very very minimal that I am doing, but the way they take care of things, the way they're completely involved into the situation, completely taking care of things, and in that one click getting the connect with people. So my inspiration, I would really honestly say I do not have anybody else except for my parents that is there, because I've seen them, I've gone to schools with them. They used to take different programs, they used to conduct different programs. I've gone to schools with them, and the way children look at them, and they interact with them, it's really nice to see all those small kids coming up with big questions in their head. So my ultimate inspiration, it started from my parents, and it's gonna be my parents.
You are really an inspiration as you learn inspiration from home and from parents, and you inspire many people and you touch upon many people as you travel. These are the some of the angels we can call. Sarah has become one of the angel, and people look up to you and try to learn many things in life. You know, there are students on the. It's a challenging time. The youth are not aware, like many people, for that matter. Many professions are affected in a big way. So there's a lot of paradigm shifts that are happening in different, around the globe during this pandemic time. So, as a social worker, what will be your message to the youth who are, not knowing what to do, where to go? What will be your say for them?
um I guess what I would say is to start doing what you always wanted to do. The dream that you had, don't just let it be a dream. Just take a step forward towards it. because for me, I really wanted to do my masters, and I for a while I couldn't. There was this one year that I couldn't. I went through some hardships that were there. So, and once I got a chance, I went for it. The opportunities that come your way, do not miss them. Take them, and do what you have to do. Whatever you're dreaming, whatever you want to be, just take that one step, and it will, that one step will, show you different other steps in front. And later on, you can, think back and see, okay, I could not do it, but then I took that one step. So that first step is very important. If you're going to be shaky about it, if you're going to have, double thoughts about it, I don't think so you will be able to do it. So that first step is always important. I could not have been over here if I did not take the first step, if I did not choose to take the first step. So that first step is very important. I know it is scary. It is going to be scary, like to the greatest extent. Even I am sitting here right now. I am actually telling all of you that I am trembling. I am cold. Okay, I am that scared. But then, yes, I took this step and I'm here. So I guess the first step is very important. You take the first step and then you just slide through everything.
Yes, as we all say, journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step, and that first step which you take is very important. If you don't think of that step at all, then you won't be there in your destination, so you won't know where you have to. So your message has been very clear, Sarah, that yes, we need to take steps and we need to choose where we need to go. And once you have chosen, you are at the right place. If you
Mhm.
are here because you have chosen, there should not be any cribbing in later part of life. The choice that you make in life is what it leads you at later part of life, which is very,
Yeah,
very important. The
absolutely.
choices will take you. I want to listen to that quote that you said about the choices quote, Sarah.
It says that make your choices and the choices will make you. So each
Great.
time, whatever you choose, doesn't matter if it is good or bad. You have taken the choice. You will be, where you are according to that choice. At every step of life, life gives you choices all the time. Like, even if you're sitting idle, there is a choice to either sit idle or do something effective. So there is a choice at every, step of your life. So I'm not saying that every choice that you make will be right, uh, but yes, you take that choice. If it is wrong, you will learn. If it is right, you will go forward.
I'm sure, perfectly said. Like whether you go after, you have to take art stream or commerce stream, or you have to take engineer stream or science stream. So these are all the choices that we make. And then when you have landed at that place, be happy. Be happy where you are. Should be the motto and should be the mantra. It was nice talking to you, Sarah. You have been an inspiration to many, and you have trained many students, and you are also in the path of your masters. We wish you a wonderful time in your journey ahead. I'm sure. And we thank you for being in the Chat with Champ show, Sarah.
It's my honor, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me to this show, and thank you for making me a part of such a wonderful platform that is there, sir.
Great. So, viewers, you are watching Chat with Champ show, and Sarah had given us a wonderful message. Make your choices in life, and choices will take you where you want. So, that is very important. Choose what is best, and whatever you have chosen is the best, should be your conviction. Once you're convinced, your conviction is there, and once you're convinced with what you've chosen, it will take you, it will lead you. No cribbing in life in later part of life. We're all going to have wonderful time. We are going to meet a lot of champions through this Chat with Champ show. Be part of this Chat with Champ show, and you will be listening and hearing wonderful messages from all our champions. Gratitude